When a one-dimensional brawler meets lightning hands, it's hard to judge who will walk away as the winner. By all accounts, Ryan Garcia enters this bout as the favorite, with almost 85% of people giving the 26-year-old the definitive edge in winning. But boxing isn't that simple, and Romero has a lot to unravel. His somewhat awkward style, which allows him to create pressure, is the perfect alternative that could change the tide of this fight. Just look at Garcia's fight with Luke Campbell. Despite winning, the 26-year-old found himself on the canvas thanks to relentless pressure, and this could happen again on May 2nd. So, let's see what the experts think. Heading into this fight, Garcia sits on a record of 24-1, while Romero is at 16-2. This doesn't mean a lot given the close nature of these bouts. Moreover, both fighters have ended most of their fights by way of knockout. 20 of these to Garcia, with 13 to Romero. This indicates that both fighters can end fights. But starting with Garcia, it's worth noting that he had won 3 of his last 5 fights. His latest fight with Devin Haney ended in a no contest. But prior to that, the US native was looking good. He overcame Oscar Duarte with an 8th round knockout after losing to Gervonta Davis just 1 fight prior. He'd take down Javier Fortuna and Emmanuel Tago before that, giving him a decent record. Only the Tank could leave a blemish on his record, but more surprisingly is the fact that he has proven his ability to go the distance. Yes, Ryan Garcia doesn't have any issue standing for 12 rounds. On the other hand, Romero has been very similar in his last 5 fights. Romero stopped 3 of his opponents, going the distance with the other, but also has a single blemish on his record. However, his loss to Isaac Pitbull Cruz on March 30th, 2024 was perhaps one of his worst, having the opportunity to retain the WBA World Super Lightweight Championship. But now a move to the welterweight division has changed the stakes. Now, this fight might not have the super lightweight title on the line, but there is one very interesting fact. Romero actually defeated Ismael Barroso. His TKO 6th round victory in 2022 would earn him the coveted WBA World Super Lightweight Championship and announce him a true threat in the lightweight division. So by all accounts and stats, these two fighters are very evenly matched, and this could be one of the bouts that steals the show. With recent fight matchups not providing a clear favorite, we'll have to look closer at the tail of the tape to perhaps figure out who has the edge on paper. A look at the tail of the tape is quite interesting and reveals a lot when it comes to who might be the favorite. Both fighters are matched pretty evenly in terms of their physical states. King Ryan is 26 years old, standing 5 feet and 8.5 inches tall. He has a reach of approximately 70 inches and has fought a total of 112 rounds. Moreover, Garcia is known for his lightning speed and quick hands, but has more of an orthodox style. In fact, Garcia is what you'd call a typical boxer, who can dictate the fight and needs to be in control. On the other hand, Romero is 29 years old, but despite being a little older, he's definitely still in the prime of his career. Romero stands 5 feet and 8 inches tall, with a reach of just under 70 inches. Despite being labeled as an orthodox fighter, he's known for his unique style, which often creates different angles and can give him the edge in any bout. Both fighters are ready for this fight, having competed at least once in 2024. But the slightest advantage will naturally go to Garcia. Not only is he a more attuned boxer, but the 2-inch reach advantage could ensure that Romero doesn't have the opportunity to get close and apply pressure on his opponent. In terms of power, both fighters have a knockout percentage of over 80. Definitely means that a possible knockout could be on the card. Should the fight go the distance, it's also worth noting that both have experience with this. However, Romero has only boxed 84 rounds in his entire career. Finally, the question of weight is one that many fans might have. It's currently undecided, but given the fact that the fight is to be held in the welterweight division, it'll possibly be at 147 pounds. This is just a little higher than the 143 pounds Garcia was in his bout against Duarte, or the 141.5 pounds that Romero put up in his last fight. Unfortunately, the tail of the tape doesn't tip the scale toward anyone. The only real advantage can be given to Garcia, who has slightly more experience. He's also a bit younger and has a very small height and reach advantage. Unfortunately, these advantages have not proven useful against Romero. Overall, this makes it incredibly hard to predict unless you delve into some of the smaller factors. What fuel is being added to the fire? What is the emotional state of both fighters? And is there any major discerning factor to indicate a possible winner? No boxing match will be complete if there's no narrative. In fact, boxing is all about egos and styles. But without drama, no fight will ever draw the crowd or keep the fans engaged. Let's be clear, This fight will take place on a stacked card and the WBA welterweight title will be on the line. But Garcia is still frustrated by what happened in his last bout. During his recent fight with Devin Haney, Garcia actually knocked his opponent down 3 times. This gave him a majority decision win, but the result would later be overturned when it was revealed that he had tested positive for banned substances. Moreover, this added a ton of fuel to the fire, with fans calling him out for his integrity and being given a $1.1 million fine that was heavily debated on social media. Fans were quick to point out on X that Garcia doesn't deserve a title shot, and many call it a reward for cheating. On the other side of the coin is the fact that many people still don't believe that Romero is championship material. A quick look at his WBA super lightweight title victory over Barroso comes to mind. Referee Tony Weeks inserted himself into the situation by stopping the fight in the 9th round. This was even though his opponent was clearly leading on the scorecards and landing clear punches. Moreover, his loss later to Isaac Cruz once again brought his reputation into question. This led many fans to call him the Tin Champ, with others saying that Romero lucked into winning his title, but can't earn it. Finally, the fact that both fighters are moving up to welterweight, despite someone like Garcia having no experience at this level, brings a lot into question. Just a few weeks ago, neither even ranked in the top 15 of the WBA, which often relegates the fight to a battle of the B-sides. Now, both fighters have the opportunity to prove the world wrong and perhaps ensure they can sway public opinion into giving them a fair shot. But who do the experts think will win? It's extremely hard to predict who will win this bout. With both fighters being so close, it's almost impossible to have a clear winner. However, experts are currently leaning towards Garcia due to his speed, power, and technical ability. Romero unfortunately doesn't have the same technical aptitude, being called a brawler instead of an actual boxer. On the other hand, it's not easy to simply disregard Romero. His 13 previous knockouts have been absolutely instrumental in building a career. He's proven that his unique style can often catch many of his opponents off guard. Should Romero be able to apply adequate pressure on his opponent, it might just open up Garcia, which was seen in the bout with Luke Campbell. Despite Garcia rebounding and ultimately winning the fight, it was really strange to see him actually take such a massive knockdown. Many experts believe that power might be Romero's only way of winning the bout. However, Campbell stated that Garcia was the hardest puncher he had ever faced. So, with a combination of speed, power, and agility, the experts might be right. Perhaps Garcia will stop Romero and prove to the world that he deserves the WBA welterweight title. But what do you think? Will it be possible for either of these fighters to win the fight convincingly? Judging by how close it's pegged to be, this might not be possible. If the fight does go to a decision, it'll possibly add even more fuel to the fire of these two being the battle of the B-sides. So, who do you think will win on May 2nd?